Sorry about that, babe.
What's up, guys? It's Cody K the Bear here with Bits and Glory, and we are back with another unboxing. This time we're going to be taking a look at Illusion of Gaia on the Super Nintendo. I got a little bit of a new setup here, so hopefully everything is suffice for you guys, but let's take a look. So we see here we have the free Nintendo Power Explorer Handbook inside. Essentially, this game gives you a strategy guide, as you can see right here. Let's read the back. Journey into the dark side of an ancient civilization. Radiating an ominous light in its path, the Chaos Comet threatens the existence of the planet. Battles erupt and a tentative peace is returned to the lands. Danger lurks as the Chaos Comet orbits and dreadful beasts lie waiting. The Age of Exploration, a boy named Will is born. Tragedy strikes during an expedition to the Tower of Babel, separating Will from his father. Telekinetic forces awaken as Will returns to South Cape. Armed with his transformation abilities of two great warriors, Will must save the planet. Gaia, Will's guiding spirit, bestows magical powers and advice along his journey. With the help of his friends, Will must battle relentless enemies and solve puzzles of the ancient ruins. Patience and knowledge are essential to reunite this father and son. 3 players can save their journeys through entries into Will's travel diary. Battery backup. 60 hours of gameplay. I don't know about that. Over 22 locations. I actually want to follow up on this 60 hours of gameplay claim. I play pretty slow, and even with grinding, which doesn't really exist much in this game, I find it hard-pressed that you'd spend over 20 hours. I'm talking like, you're talking to everybody. I don't know, I think that's a bit of a fib. Anyway, taking a look at the screenshots here, we got the first boss of the game. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. It's a tough one though, especially for newcomers. This is also from the beginning, Incan Ruins, I believe, and I can't really tell. I think that's Great Wall of China when you're doing the running jumping. Either way, let's take a look at what we got here on the inside. Just kidding, I forgot that there was a seal sticker on that side. Ah, that's right, this one's tough to get out. There we go. I actually put it upside down. Alright, here's the cartridge. This is the goods, we'll look at those later. As you guys know, a lot of my collection is in these protective cases. But the battery backup still works on this guy. I did utilize the FX Pack Pro though for my playthrough. I decided that I'm just going to continue to do that, just to make sure that there is no battery failure. But as you can see, everything's in pretty good shape. We have a little bit of a dent there, but no big deal. Original cartridge, as always. But now, let's take a look at the goods. We have a world map, an enemy list or bestiary, as well as the Nintendo Power Guidebook, which I used throughout my playthrough. We'll look at that last. Try to fit everything in frame here without zooming out, but it's gonna be a little bit difficult, I'm sure. And as you probably could hear, potentially. This is a well-loved map. I had to put a lot of tape on it. Got it off eBay. Here you can see the world map. Again, apologies, can't really fit everything into the screen, but pretty cool, the different areas of the game. Over here, going over all the spots that you'll be in, as well as little tidbits about the ruin areas, the real life areas, basically, that you've, well, sort of. Tower Babel, right? That doesn't exist anymore. Anyway, if you watch my playthrough, I actually read through all this stuff, so if you want to hear me read that, go ahead and watch the playthrough, which will be linked in the pinned comment description below in the end of the video. And here we have the enemy list, which also gives, as you can see, like little tidbits of lore on the different enemies, their areas, where they are, as well as the map location. Pretty cool, and one I didn't notice all the way until the end. There it is, Astoth. I couldn't remember the name of that boss. They actually go over all the bosses, which I find to be pretty cool. Even the last boss of the game. I mean, they kind of like try to blur it a little bit, but it's not quite successful. But as you can see, pretty robust and awesome. Big fan of this type of stuff. It would have been nice if they had some dungeon maps, but I guess beggars can't be choosers, right? So, let me put that off to the side. Hopefully it's not going to cast a shadow again. Working with a new setup here, so bear with me. Here is the Explorer Nintendo Power Handbook for Illusion of Gaia. Now, it's a good guide, but it's not to a T, especially towards the end of the game. The guide definitely gets a little bit lazy. But it's going to go over basically everything you need, and obviously, how many pages are there? 83, and full color, which is awesome. Going over the backstory here about the Comet of the Ages, some intro cutscene stuff there, showing you Tower of Babel. Going over the different companions that you'll find throughout the game, lots of NPCs and friends, Will and Kara obviously being the main two, Lily, Lance, Seth, and Eric, of course. Going over, you know, basic stuff like starting your game and all that. Controller settings, attacks, different things that you could do with Will, and the HUD basically for the game screen. More stuff here. The radar screen, which kind of tells you how many enemies are left on the screens of the dungeons or ruins on your map. Clear them out to gain strength, defense, HP upgrades, so on and so forth. Going over the dark space area, which allows you to switch into different warriors as well as save. Different abilities that, dark powers specifically, that both Will and Frieden learn. And Shadow. And it's funny, I forgot all about Aura Barrier. I'm assuming you need to get all of them in the game. I'm not an expert on this game, clearly. I didn't use this once. So yeah, don't know if I missed it somehow, or I just chose not to use it and didn't pay attention. But I didn't use it. Anyway, Shadow, you actually need to use an item to liquefy, so that's a little bit misleading. Not really. It's an ability, but sort of, kind of, not really. Various items you find throughout the game, with red jewels being the main side quest. If you find up to 50, you get a secret area and boss. Mystic statues, of course, being very important. Going over general tips for the game, and then here's where the Explorer's Guide starts, which we're not gonna go through, but I'll just kind of flip through. They tell you where to get all the jewels, which is pretty cool. Some of them are pretty tricky though, so you gotta be careful. But yeah, overall, it's a pretty good guide. It kind of gets you in the right direction, so to speak. And I would say, again, early on, it's very in-depth, and then the closer you get to the end of the game, which I guess you can kind of expect, a lot of the guides do this in this era, they kind of get a little bit short on you, and they don't give you as much information. Like, for example, yeah, this is all there is for the pyramid. But the pyramid's a pretty vast area, which essentially requires you to be 2, sometimes 3, kind of, people to get through it. But yeah, it's pretty cool stuff, man. I miss when games used to give you these, and that's why I do these unboxings. Sometimes the unboxings aren't spectacular, obviously, because a game will only come with, you know, an insert or 2 or something like that, but, you know, when a game comes with really cool stuff, I definitely want to cover it, but in general, you know, I'm trying to cover everything for my channel, so you get the good, the bad, the in-between. I would consider Illusion of Gaia a good package, considering all the cool stuff you get. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this unboxing, and if you did, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out the pinned comment description below, as well as the overlay here on the end of the video, for my playlist of all things Illusion of Gaia, and stay tuned for the review coming soon. Take care.